Welcome, everyone, and welcome for today's episode. As this is the new year, like only 3 4 days from the 1st of the January. So, everyone is busy making new plans. Everyone wants to know what the whole year is having for them. As this is the new year, everyone is looking for the new job, new career, or in somehow they want to progress, and which is the natural human tendency. So, in terms of career and astrology, this play a huge role in everyone's life. It depends how much you know about it. It depends how much do you believe or you do not believe at all. So, for today's episode, we have a very special guest with us, Sir Bhabajeet ji, and he is a true expert on the astrology side. Everyone knows that how much wisdom he has in terms of astrology and in the every field like career, relationship, all of the sides. So this episode is special with him regarding career, planets, and astrology and its role in your life. So let's welcome Sir Babuji. Hello, sir. Thank you so much for joining us today. Very warm welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Nutanji. It's a great pleasure to talk to you. Finally, we were supposed to meet before, but finally it's happening today as the will of the planets.
Yes, yes, I
Thank you.
agree totally. Thank you so much for accepting the request. You were so generous and humble to reschedule it again. And I'm really grateful and thankful.
Thank you for inviting me. It's a great pleasure to be on your channel.
Yeah, my pleasure, sir. So, like as I mentioned already, that this whole episode is regarding career, connected planets, and how someone's destiny or the future is shaping up according to astrology in their, or what's the role of astrology or in their careers. So basically, while I was thinking about that, what I have realized that these day technologies are going too far. Everything is online, every information is online, like your videos are online. There's a wisdom coming from the expert who is reading the literature. But there is our AI tools which are giving people a lot of information. People are putting their horoscope combination in AI tools and they are giving the whole description what they can do, what they cannot do. So, how do you incorporate that whole technology system, AI, and everything with the old astrological system, the career, and how is going to affect the further with the career related and the astrology for the astrologers as well?
Yes, that's a great question you've asked, and yes, indeed, AI is cutting everywhere, and astrology and astrologers are not exceptions to it. So the thing is, in astrology there are a lot of aspects. We just think, oh, it is the chart, and the chart is all in all. No, actually it is not. It is just the beginning and a very important reference point. Of course, it's a very powerful reference point. But then there are other things, like there is numerology, for example. Numerology is your date of birth alone, just the DOB, and that's it. Then there is also a mystery, the hand. Then there is something called as time, place, circumstances, like Desh, Kala, Patra. Now, why all these things are important? Because if you see a horoscope of a person who has a very good profession, very good profession from all astrology parameters, like the person has a strong lagna, strong 10th house, strong 6th house, second house, 11th house, and you use all other standard astrological parameters, and then you come to a conclusion, oh, this is a very powerful horoscope. But you don't know anything about the person. You don't know if this person is born in a middle class family, in a lower middle class, upper middle class. The person is born in India, in the US, or in a village in US or Europe or in India. or in a tier 2 city in a metro, or you don't know you don't know anything about the person's hand, the palmistry you are not aware. So then what will happen? You cannot predict the scale of the success. That is the problem.
Okay.
So for example, let me give you an example. If a random person comes to you and asks, okay, this is my horoscope, how will be my next 10 years? And let us assume, for simplicity, let us assume the person's moon mahadasha is starting, and moon mahadasha, as we know, is for 10 years. So let's assume for simplicity, the person's moon is in the 11th house. So you will say, oh, it's a great dasha. All your desires will be fulfilled, right?
Ji.
But now, when that person's 11th house is active, will the person become like a politician? And let's assume the person is politician in India. So now 11th house is active. 11th house is exponential gain. So now will the person become MLA, or will the person become MP, or will the person become a minister in the state government, or a minister in the central government, or the person will become chief minister or prime minister? That you cannot answer.
Okay. So basically, what you are trying to convey here, that even that AI can tell you the prediction, but cannot tell you the extent of that or the deepness of that prediction or where it will go.
I mean, it can, but you have to add all this. Then
Okay.
then the AI has to have a proper background of who you are. Let me give you an example.
Hmm.
Suppose in India somebody is born, in a reasonably middle class family,
Hmm.
and the person has a reasonably good horoscope. Then what will happen is the person's middle class status will be maintained.
Hmm.
And if the person has a very good chart, then he or she might go to upper middle class by the time they retire. Then it depends on their son and daughter's chart, what is there. Then from upper middle class they may go to like semi elite class or something like that. But that is the next generation. But suppose a person is born in a family which is under poverty,
Right. Okay.
and then the person has an exceptionally strong chart. Then if other factors are not supportive, like the palmistry is not good, numerology is not good, or other things, like the person's mindset and all this, these are not good, then what will happen? From poverty the person may go at max up to middle class, but the person cannot become a millionaire.
Right.
And if the person is born in poverty, the chart is great, the numerology is great, the palmistry is great, the person can also become the prime minister of a country, maybe.
Right. So it matters, like if even you have a strong chart, but if you are not at the right place, you can't be like the from the lower middle class to go to the prime minister of the country.
Yeah, so for example, if again, as I said, 10th house is active, what you will say in astrology? Oh, name, fame, power, position. But if a politician is asking you, suppose, oh, my 10th house is going to be active, what will happen? So to know that, you have to know other aspects like numerology, palmistry, and astrology, and you have to know about the person's background. Like you have to ask the person, what does your ground insight say? If you contest as a MLA, is it better, or as a MP, is it better? Then you have to see the nature of the planets. If natural benefits are involved, like Jupiter, Venus, and Mercury, and Moon, especially if these four planets are involved, the person will not just become a Lok Sabha or a Rajya Sabha MP, the person will also have some influence. So maybe the person becomes a minister,
Okay.
because a minister has much more influence than a normal MP, right?
Oh,
So you have to see all this, and that context. It's like even in data science, the context is important. What the AI is doing.
right. Right. So basically, if someone is creating like these information in AI, of course, came from some astrologer or the expert of the subject, or they fit in the books or the sutras in that, and that's once someone is putting their information in it, they are giving the result in that form. So do you think after some time when astrologer or all the books is going to be into the AI, they that can replace astrologers, the real astrologers?
I think it cannot replace astrologers, but it can give you a good starting point.
Okay.
So then, see, now what will happen? Imagine there is no AI.
Yeah.
So then what will happen? You have to learn astrology for 1 2 years to understand what is there in my chart, and even then you cannot make a prediction
Mm,
about your own chart, because it is very difficult.
right.
And then after 1 year you realize, no, it's not working, maybe I should go to a professional astrologer and consult. But now that those 1 2 years which you spent, that information can be learned within 1 week.
Oh yes. Yes.
But for example, suppose somebody has sun in 10th house. I'm giving like very 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 dummy examples.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah, it's okay for everyone to understand.
yeah, and when I'm saying all this, don't please, the audience, please don't take it literally. But I'm giving an example. Suppose somebody has sun in 10th house, then the AI will tell you, you can become an IAS officer, you can become a politician, you can become a CEO, somebody like that. And then there are other things in the horoscope. So the AI will tell you, maybe as per your chart, these are five best professions. Okay. But now what will happen after these five professions? But there are thousand other things, like there's Ashtadvarga, there are divisional charts, there are dashas, there are transits, there is Prashna Kundli. Then, as I said, there is palmistry, there is numerology, and the problem is not there are too many things. The problem is, or I would say rather, the challenge is that most of the times these sciences, these parameters are contradicting each other.
Yes.
That is the biggest challenge which AI will face. Let me give you an example. Suppose Jaimini, like the normal astrology that we do is called Parasari astrology, right?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So Parasari is telling, okay, Sun is in the 10th house. AI will suggest profession, IS officer, politician, something like that. Now, if you go to Jaimini astrology, in Jaimini, there are Jaimini Karakas based on the degrees of planets. So the planet with the second highest degree is called Amatya Karak. That signifies your profession. But suppose now your Amatya Karak is Venus, and Venus is placed in the fourth house. It is telling, I mean, again, for beginners, it is indicating, luxury real estate. So
Okay.
how do you bring consensus? One science is telling, okay, real estate, luxury. Other is telling administrative, managerial job, politics, power, position, authority. How do you bring consensus into this? And then you use Nadi astrology, you use KP. It is telling something totally different. It is telling become a scientist, go into research. So
Okay.
and now there is no overlapping among the sciences. You
Okay.
cannot overlap. You cannot say, okay, I understand. Because he has sun in the 10th house, he will do good as a IS officer or whatever. And he will also have properties, because Gemini is saying that. You cannot say like that. You
Yeah.
cannot
Yeah.
you
Two
cannot
two
say,
two systems cannot go together. That is that.
So it may go together, but what I'm trying to say is when you combine them from your own, because the only thing AI cannot uh, tell you is the astrologer's experience.
Oh yes. Of course, yeah, right. That was the point actually, where while using, like, people are coming with this uh, point that this is giving me, and they are like very confident, like, I put my combination in the chat GPT or some AI tool, and that gave me prediction that I should go for these careers, and now why do I need the astrologer? So that was quite a triggering point for me at that point, like, this knowledge is quite vast and coming from ages, and it's not easily, is it easily replaceable? So that's why I ask you that question.
Yeah, so I think how AI can pan out is in the next 10 years or maybe next 100 years, who knows. It can it can give you all best things,
Hmm.
oh, Gemini astrology says this, you can have the five following process. Then when the person goes to an astrologer for a consultation, maybe the time can be reduced. Then an astrologer can give a complete consultation in 15 minutes, maybe,
Yeah,
rather
that's
rather than spending like 1 hour.
yes.
Because the astrologer will also have some AI, maybe after 5-10 years. Where the AI will already say, oh, Gemini is saying this, KP is saying this, blah, 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 and then you use your brain what it is. So, okay, cut, done, done. 1 minute, one consultation.
Easy for you to do the consultation.
No, I'm just saying this might be the future.
Yeah.
Because if AI is doing 90, not 90, 99.9%,
Mhm.
if AI is doing that, then every consultation is 60 seconds, right? Because it is like the client already knows what is written and the astrologer also knows.
Yeah.
But then the astrologer has to do something very important. He has to do something which AI cannot do, which is he has to consult the person. He has to understand the human aspect of the client, and he has to gauge from his experience. Okay, the planets are saying this. What can happen in his opinion? So maybe the AI will suggest five best careers, and then the astrologer has to say among the five, this number two is the best profession for you. Go and do that.
Okay.
So I think the only thing AI will do in the upcoming decades is it will shorten consultation periods.
Oh yes, good in a way. That's a pros part, and in the con part, the person is like coming with you with all decked up with the AI information, and now he's going to question you that the AI was saying this, and this is the this. So you might need to break their things also.
Well, this is a major challenge we as astrologers we face. Like for example, somebody books a 1 hour consultation. So in that I segregate 15 minutes career, 15 minutes marriage, 15 minutes health and mental health, physical, mental, and 15 minutes, your spiritual life, your outlook in life, this is. But then nowadays, because of YouTube and all this, people have studied so much astrology by God's grace. But the downside is instead of asking these four quadrants, they are only inquiring about astrological details, and then after 45 minutes they realize, oh, I did not discuss about marriage, health, property purchase, car purchase. I did not discuss only. So
Yeah,
I
that
would say there has to be a balance. Like a consultation is not a coaching. It is not an astrology coaching session. That should be very clear. If
yes.
they want coaching, then they have to join some online course or offline course mentorship program where they can exactly know. other, and within the consultation also there can be some details given, but the problem is astrology is so vast and every astrologer has their own experience.
Yes.
I can talk astrological details to a person, but can I talk my experience? That I can't do, because it will take me months to explain why in this horoscope, as per my experience, Saturn will give good results in this area but bad results in some other area, because that is a final intuition you will develop. Oh, because you have seen 500 charts like that.
Yes. Yes.
But that if you tell, oh, my intuition is telling, then the client may say, oh, you are just bluffing. I'm just giving an example, right?
No, no, it is perfectly right, right to that scenario, because you are experiencing that, and in future it might come in the more prevalent way in front of the astrologers who are doing that. So this is the part of AI, quite a fascinating thing for me. But now I want to move forward with that, the real planets who affect someone's career, how someone could choose, like as you said, YouTube gave a lot of information to the people. 10th house is for career, 6th house is daily routine, and second house is your earnings. With these three houses, how someone can decide what is their career, or how you or any astrologer could help in that way. And the one thing is like always comes in the mind, how your soul purpose or soul calling fits in these three houses or the scenario. Like, so I will further add my other points, but this is from where I want to start in terms of planets and career.
It's a very good question you have asked. So Parashar Muni says there are three Artha houses: second house, sixth house, 10th house. And all the YouTube astrology is like dominated by these three houses.
Yes.
But people forget what comes before Artha. We
Okay.
have we have four Purusharthas. First is Dharma, then Artha, then Kama, then Moksha. Four Purusharthas.
Yes.
So the first house, fifth house, ninth house, these three are Dharma Trikona.
Okay. Yeah.
Then second, sixth, tenth are Artha Trikona. Then third, seventh, 11 they are Kama Trikona. And fourth, eighth, 12 they are Moksha Trikona. But this does not mean that whatever is in the second, sixth, and tenth that will be your profession. It does not mean that. First, the always step one is to identify the person's nature. So for that, you have to see the Dharma Trikon first, 159, what is there in that. You have to check their numerology. In the date of birth, what is there? What kind of numbers are there? Now, when you, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I just wanted you to be there. I can.
Okay. So, so first you see their date of birth. In numerology, what kind of numbers are there? Then you see what is there in the Artha house, in the Dharma Trikon, the first house, fifth house, ninth house, these three houses. So that will give you a brief idea of what kind of a person is this. Is the person very much interested in money? Is the person very much interested in control? Is the person very much interested in stock market? Is the person very much interested in real estate or into technology or research or whatever? So once you identify that, then we go to the Artha houses, because the Artha houses show, regardless of your interests, from where can the money come in. This is what the Artha houses show. But the problem is, if you only use Artha houses and you don't use the Dharma Trikon, then the problem is what is happening now in most of the places, which means people are having a lot of money, but they are not happy in their job.
Yes,
Why
that's
that is happening? Because you are only running after Artha. You are not considering the dharma of the person. Now, dharma here does not mean the person's religion, but it means the person's true nature. For example, if a person is not very money minded, or the person is not good in sales, whatever is there in the person's 10th house, you push the person to become an entrepreneur, the person will be the most unhappy person.
okay.
Because people think entrepreneur means, oh yeah, you have to make this big company, but at the end, who is the entrepreneur? Entrepreneur is nothing but a good salesman. He or she can sell his product to millions of people. That's what an entrepreneur is, right?
Yes.
If nobody is buying your product, what the hell do you do by forming a company, right? Makes no sense.
So to be just want to add something here. So to be a good entrepreneur, or to to be a businessman, you should be a kind of salesperson. If you don't have interest in like in the money in that side, you cannot be an entrepreneur. How do we see that combination, sir?
Yeah, that is a very interesting question you have asked. You have to understand, every planet is contributing something to every area of your life. Like, for example, let's take third house.
Okay.
People will say, oh, third house is, karma house, it has nothing to do with your profession. No, certainly it has. Somebody will say, oh, fourth house, what, it is not a very prominent house as per YouTube astrology. Maybe the least discussed of all houses is the fourth house. So sometimes people even forget that it even exists.
Yes.
But a planet sitting in the fourth is aspecting your 10th house, right?
Yes, directly. Yes.
So how powerful it is. A planet sitting in the third, if it is Jupiter or Rahu, it will aspect your 11th house.
Yes, it
If
does.
Mangal is sitting in the third, it can also aspect with the eighth aspect to your 10th house.
Yes.
So what I'm trying to tell you here is, every planet will influence every area of your life, irrespective of where the planet is sitting.
Right. So we cannot say only in that sense that only 10th house is the house for career, or only Saturn is the karka for your job or career. Then how do we
Never,
differentiate?
never, never. First, you check you have to start with the date of birth. So in the date of birth, if somebody has five,
Okay.
because that is where it begins. It's the day.
Okay. But
It's the day.
okay, okay. You go ahead, please. Yeah.
So so somebody has five in their date of birth. Like they are born. Like if you see Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, they are born on 1955.
Okay. Five.
Both both
That's
both of them. Okay, and just give you an example. So now, if they have five in date of birth, by default, the ability to do sales is very good by default,
okay. Why is that?
because five is the number of Mercury in numerology, and Mercury in numerology is the indicator of sales and money, especially money.
Okay.
The person will know to a large extent how to earn money, where money is, what should you do, either by earned income or invested income or whatever. The person knows how to bring money, in short. Now you see their horoscope. Suppose then, along with that, with five, the person also has Mercury in the 10th. Then that is like double thumbs up. Now you can say, oh yes, please go into sales, become an entrepreneur. But now within that also, you have to see, will the person just be a good salesman, or the person can become a good can open their own company and become the CEO and hire thousands of people. For that you have to see where is the sun, because sun shows your authority and leadership. Then you have to see your Saturn shows the structure. Then you have to see their lagna, because the lagna lord will show the person's attitude.
Okay.
So so once you see all this, then you can know. So suppose the person has Mercury in 10th and 5 in numerology, but the sun is weak, Saturn is not strong, lagna is not strong, then what will happen, I'll tell you. This person will be that classic salesman, but the person will be going on selling products which are not like too expensive. Like if you go in India, in towns and cities, you will see, people will, they will be like, the salesman will be like, "Arey, das ka do, le lo." They will say like this, right? So just
Right, right.
now they are very good at doing that. They're very confident. They can stand at the street, and they can just shout, le lo. Okay, how many people can do that?
Not everyone.
Exactly. But now, if the person's Sun, Saturn, Lagna Lord are also strong, the person will teach that same skill to others. And then the person will hire a bunch of 10 salesmen, because if the person is a good salesman, he or she can also identify a good salesman, right? That power of judgment to hire somebody will come from Jupiter. So then what happens? You suddenly are not a salesman anymore. You are a CEO of a 10-person company, and now your profits are 3x, 4x, 5x.
Basically, so basically, what you are saying, it depends on the strength. It depends on all of the combination, how it's combining and making you sell on street, or you are selling in the mall, or it's a big brand.
Now see Donald Trump.
Yes.
He is salesman or not? If you check his date of birth, he's born on 14th. So his basic number is born on
Five.
14 June.
Okay.
So
Five,
his
five.
basic number is 5. So he's a great salesman. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Of course.
Now you look at his chart. If you look at his chart, he's Leo Lagna. So his Sun and Rahu both are very, very, very powerful in the 10th house. So now he's not just going on selling pamphlets. He's selling you a political dream. It's like big, make America great or whatever. That is, we are not going into that aspect. If that is correct, that's propaganda, that is exaggeration. Or we are not discussing all this.
Right.
But he's selling. How did he end up sweeping all the swing states and winning popular vote and like this red wave in America? How did it? Basically, he has sold an idea, right?
Yes. Sold the dream.
Exactly.
Sold the dream.
So
Yes.
he's a salesman, basically.
Yeah, so right. So this is a one kind of career, right? Salesman. So every person who is doing job, business, or anything else, it should come with under these combinations of salesmen, or there are other kind of things as well where person could do like people are life coaches, they are doing so many like motivators. Even I would consider like astrologers are somehow guiding in the field, like they are telling you how to live the life in the different way, or guiding you, or just letting you help where to move further in the future. How we can connect that?
Yeah, very good question. So this salesman thing is applicable for all work,
Okay.
not just some food or dead product. I'm not saying all that. It is
Okay.
also applicable to astrologers. Okay.
Okay.
Now, suppose you are talking of guiding or as an astrologer. So then you have to check their date of birth first. So if there are numbers like 3, 7, or 9, because these are numbers of guidance and light in numerology.
Okay.
Then again, now you come to astrology. You have to check the dharma trikona.
Okay.
Like for example, we are all aware of Pandit Sanjay Raji, right?
G.
If you add his date of birth total, it will come to 7. So 7 is the destiny number, or as in some sciences they call it, bhagyank or something like that. Then you go and look at his chart. He has Jupiter in the lagna in Pisces ascendant. So this is giving him this Hansa Mahapurush yoga.
Okay.
And there are a lot of other things in his chart. We can discuss that some other time, but I'm just giving an example. Like when you are using numerology, then you are using astrology. Now you use number 3, Desh Kal Patra.
Okay.
So
Okay. Nice.
his family is connected to so many astrologers from Achyutananda's Parampara and all this.
Right.
So now what does this mean? Now the base of the family, the genes are already very high.
Exactly.
So now with that type of genes, if some freaking person has destiny number 7, and on top of that has Hans Mahapurush Yoga, that is like escape velocity. It's taking you to the planets.
Right, right. I totally agree to you because in one day you can be, or suppose some people are directly coming, like they have no background, just they born in the family, which like simple people, but they are still doing amazing things. Does it still goes in that way like you were explaining for Sanjana ji, or that person comes like these days everything is connected with your past birth, last birth, everyone is counting on that. So does that punya jo they achieved in their last birth and they are coming into this life for whatever reason they are not in that so great family, how they gonna perform in their life as a career or as that in the great field?
So the scriptures explain this. The scriptures say, whatever donations you have given in your previous lifetimes, that same donation is coming back to you
Okay.
in form of salary, or capital gains, property, whatever, cryptocurrency, gold, whatever it is.
Hmm.
So that means if somebody is not getting money, what does it mean? It means the person does not have the necessary punya. That means the person has not done given donations and done good karma, got the blessings of great souls, Rishi, Muni, and all this. So then what is the remedy? The only remedy is you cannot change anything now, but you can do good karma now. So even if you are earning 10 rupees a day, you can donate 1 rupee, right?
Right.
Because you cannot change what you did in the past.
Yes.
Like before I started this session with you today, somebody in my Instagram DM approached me and said, I want to know about my past life. Sometimes some people also say, I want to know what I will do in my next life.
Wow.
So then I ask them, okay, what about this life? You want to? Then I say, my job is for this life, not previous.
Oh, right, right. I agree, agree. So,
Yeah. So basically, if somebody is suffering, like somebody is getting defamation means somebody is spreading wrong information about it. That means you did something to somebody, you spread false news.
hmm,
So
right,
now you can take legal action and all this, but stop gossiping about others.
true.
And yes, if you are not having like Bill Gates, for example, or Elon Musk, for example, 500 billion USD, I think that is his recent net worth, right? And so, can you imagine? And this is something very interesting, I'll tell you. You will know the measure of what I'm talking. It is said in the scriptures that whatever good karma you perform in this lifetime, in the next lifetimes, 90% of that good karma you enjoy in the heavens.
Okay.
And then remaining, how much is there? 10%. Within that 10%, 90%, which is 9%,
Yes.
that you will enjoy in this Gulok where we are living, but not in Earth, in some other higher realms. Not in Swargaloka. Swargaloka is a higher planetary system. So there you enjoy 90%. The remaining 9% you enjoy in some other places. I will not name them, it will become very complicated. And then the rest, 1% that is remaining, 10% of that 10%, which is 1%,
Yes.
that you enjoy in this earth that we are living.
Okay. So this is very less percentage. Still so much success, so much fame, money, power people are having.
So that means, can you imagine if you take this literally, you take it mathematically, can you imagine how much Elon Musk has enjoyed in the heavens?
Right.
It's difficult to fathom, right?
But suppose with that much punya, or whatever they have achieved, that goes 90% there, 10%. Again, we took the 1% and it came down to 1%. Now,
Yeah.
in this life, they are abusing their punya, not doing good to the humanity and not doing that so good work. How the calculation goes further?
So basically, it is very simple. Whatever good you did in your past lifetime, that will come to you, irrespective of what you do in this lifetime.
Okay, okay, that's, that makes
But
sense.
if you suppose you say, "Oh, I got lottery, I got $1 million. So now with this money, I can plan. I keep 50% for myself, 50% I donate for some temple or some charity or something like that. And then I get some recurring income from fixed deposit or dividend stocks or whatever or real estate, and I sustain myself happily. And 20, 30% or 10% of the money, $100,000 I donate. Or you say, oh yeah, I'll not do it. I'll donate 20% and I'll buy some luxury car. That's fine. But now if you say, I will take all the money and I will buy alcohol with it. I'll have the best of alcohol, wherever I can in the best parts of the world. So then you will get karma. You will get bad karma because that is one of the four pillars of sin, taking alcohol. So that will degrade you. And that does not matter. You got the money from good karma, bad karma. The moment, it is all very dynamic. The moment you get money from your job or stock or somebody donates money to you, you use it and you misuse it, you immediately create a bad karma, and that repercussion of the repercussion of that bad karma will come one day. Does not matter. You have destined to, you have the destiny to get $1 million, $1 billion by some lottery. It does not matter. So that bad karma's repercussion will also come.
Right.
It will not cancel out each other.
Okay. So somehow you are using, but whatever you are creating, that will come back.
Yeah. So even scriptures explain, like the scriptures explain, when you, if you give if you donate, like one gold coin,
Okay.
if you donate one gold coin to a person and the person misuses it, then in next lifetime that same one gold coin comes back to you as it is.
Wow. Fair give and take.
But if you give that $1, one gold coin, and somebody uses it for good purpose, and he changes lives of 10 people, then in next lifetime you will get back 10 gold coins, because your one gold coin benefited 10 people.
Thank you.
And then if you give it to a brahmin, he's doing some good great spiritual work, that will come back like 1,000 million times more. Just one gold coin, can you believe it? And and the converse is also true.
Okay.
Like for example, the scriptures say when somebody kills a cow and eats the cow, then the amount of hairs the cow has on her body, that many number of times you will go to hell and suffer. So the good is also there, the bad is also there.
Also there.
So
Yeah,
there's
this.
extreme examples.
Yes, and thank you so much for bringing that example out, because these are some quite a relative points with the current scenario. People are doing so many things, but like they have their own point of justification about like the cow or eating some like animals. Like it is okay if you don't have anything to survive. That was the primitive times when there was nothing and you were allowed to do that. But if you have multiple things, why you gonna choose that? So that's your will and wish what you want to do. That depends on your own. So, sir, I want to go back. You gave for number 3, 7, and 9. I just want to ask the numerology number 5, 6, 8, 10, 11, and 12. If you give a quick
Yeah.
guidance for them,
So let's start with number one.
please. Yeah.
So number one is the number of the sun. So if somebody has number one in their date of birth, then it means they have good administrative capacity. They can lead others well. Now, when I say one in their date of birth, I am not considering the first two digits of the year,
Okay.
because most of the people watching this maybe they are born in 1900, so by that they have one and nine, but that we don't consider.
Okay.
And we are considering the basic number. Basic number means somebody is born on 20th, 28th. Then also the person has one, because 2 plus 8 is 1.
Yeah.
Or you add a person's complete date of birth, the full date of birth you add with the first two digits of the year, everything, whatever is there, that comes to one. Then also one is there.
Okay.
Now, if somebody has one, then it means there is leadership capacity, administration, and all these things are there. But the the lesser the number one is, the more power it has.
Okay.
Like if you see uh, Donald Trump's case, and Prime Minister Modi's case, Trump is born on 14th, Modi is born on 17th. So they have won only one time.
Yes.
So Modi, Trump, Putin, Xi Jinping, these are all exceptionally great leaders. They are leading such big countries. Now we are not discussing on what they are doing is right or wrong. We are not going
Yeah.
to that.
Yes. Yes.
But regardless of whatever they are doing, the leadership skills have to be extreme. And if the number one increases in quantity, like if it is double one, triple one, so and so, then the administration capacity reduces.
Okay.
Then we have number two. Number two is the number of the moon. Number two, if it is there in date of birth, the people are very sweet talkers. They are very emotional. They are very loving, nurturing, motherly, like that. All the traits of the divine mother is there in that person. But if two is multiple times, then the result is opposite. The person is too emotional. The person is like too much needy. It's like the person wants too much pampering. Somebody is born on like 22nd February 1992. My God, four times the number two is there.
Yes.
Then we have number three. Number three is the number of Jupiter, spirituality, wisdom, maturity, religion, rules, regulations, all this. Then we have number four. Four is the classic criminal number, is the number of Rahu. So whoever has four, either basic destiny or other places, four is there. The person always, four means the person is a spendthrift.
Okay.
Not like the person is spending money always, but the person loves to spend money on something every day. It can be very small, like buying a small chocolate or buying a pen or pencil, but the person has to spend some money. Otherwise, the person is not happy. And then we have number five. Five is the miser. It's opposite of four. Always wants to keep the money. Okay, because five is the number of money. I want all the money of the world, right? Is the number of Mercury. Then six is Venus. So whoever has six in their date of birth will be very brand conscious. Will talk with a like their speech will be very refined. They will smell very nice all the time. They will look nice. They'll be attractive. They'll be charming. You know, they will like perfumes. They will always have the latest gadgets. They are a bit flashy, and their speech is like very how do I say, it is like it will give you like a elite vibe, okay, something like that. And seven is the number of Ketu, but it is also the number of luck in numerology. So seven means you get a lot of free things in life, free sponsorships, business class, this, that. Seven is also travel, developed countries. Whoever has seven can get a PR or passport of a developed country relatively easily.
Okay.
Then eight is Saturn, of course. And Saturn, if it is present in even means like number eight is there two times.
Okay. 88.
Yeah, 88, eighth August, something like that.
Hmm.
They can do great in real estate. Like if you know Niranjan Hiranandani,
Yes.
you go and check his date of birth. He has two eights. Okay.
No
If you
idea.
if you go and check Rishi Sunak's date of birth, he has two eights. And then number and eight, if it is in odd, it is very difficult, because then eight is like single eight, triple eight. These are difficult numbers. The person has to do a lot of hard work. There are delays, disappointments, setbacks, tears, heartbreaks. All these things can be there. And last is the number nine. Number nine is like number one, the lesser the better. If nine is only one time, like Prime Minister Modi, for example, 17 September 1950. So the September 9 is there, and 1950 we don't take the first two digits of the
19.
year.
Yeah.
Nine is only one time. Nine is classic Mars. It's like does not fear anybody or whatever. And if nine is multiple times, like 9 September or 1999, something like that, the person is a bit timid and a bit fearful, wants to make peace, a bit like shy sometimes. So now suppose somebody has, in numerology, they have number one and number nine. Both are single, like for Modi, for example. Both are single one, single one. Very, very, very powerful numbers. Extremely powerful. Then you go to his chart, you will see, oh, his 11th house is, flooded with like 4 or 5 planets in the Bhav chart. Then you go to his palmistry, his thumb is exceptionally long. His thumb is crossing, this phalanx. Like if you just do like this, it will
Mm.
go somewhere here. You can check his palm. Okay.
Yeah. Mm.
So when you add all this, and then of course the ice, the what is that cherry on the top? Mahadasha, Antardasha, we forgot.
Right. 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 Like we say, Dasha is the major part in someone's journey.
Yeah, these things are the base. Then Dasha is like, okay, will the periods help the person or not?
Right.
Then when you see all this, then you know, okay, this person can go very high in career. So in short, what I'm trying to tell you today is it depends on the overall chart. This is all I will tell you.
No, sure, sir. Thank you for all this information in like quite interesting and good facts which are coming. Like not only 10th house, 6th house, and second house is responsible. Whole planets, whole charts, it give the impacts on your or your career or the earnings.
Like
So
I'll sorry to interrupt you. One small thing I will add. This will make
yes,
things
yes,
more.
please, please.
Like whenever you see in internet, Leo Lagna, Leo Sun, Leo Moon. What you will see in the internet, the person is authoritative, dominating, is
Mm,
pushy, loves limelight, loves to speak, brag worthy, narcissistic. All these things you will see, right?
right.
But you will observe not every Leo ascendant is. Why is it, right? Why?
Hmm.
Now you go to Donald Trump's chart. So in Donald Trump's case, he has the number one time, single one. So Sun by default is very powerful. By default, irrespective of astrology.
Okay.
Now you go to astrology, you open his chart. Which Lagna he is? Leo Lagna.
Leo. Leo.
So now the Sun has become like, double powerful. Then where the hell is his Sun? Sun is in the 10th house in
10th
big
house.
directional strength. My God, with Rahu is like, I'll
Expand.
go everybody, I am the best, and his most favorite dialogue is nobody knows this better than me, right? Anything, nobody knows India more than me, nobody knows finances better than me, nobody knows this more than me. So when he's saying it, he actually feels like this. He's going on bullying Justin Trudeau, like, perpetually bullying him. Oh, Governor Trudeau, 51st state of, great state of Canada, and Trudeau can do nothing.
Nothing. Right.
Nobody can do anything. And now the last cherry on the top you add, he's the president of US. Now, if this was the president of Singapore, all this would still be there, making news sometimes. But now the gun is fully loaded already. You're the most powerful person in the universe, and on top you have these crazy numbers, crazy date of birth, and who can do what? No, nobody.
Seriously.
So now when you see, oh, he's Leo Lagna, he will be like he is like Leo on steroids.
Right, with the superpower, like with all the supplements, nobody can stop him.
Yeah, adding to that, you see, he has son Rahu. It is like, full of himself, always talking about himself, like, I'll make America great, whatever. I mean, and he actually believes it when he's saying he's not bluffing.
He believes, he says with the conviction whatever he's saying there.
Exactly. Now, whether that will happen or not, in the Dasha, it will be there and all, that is a separate thing. But yes, that's how that's that is like vintage Trump. It is like Surya Lagna Lord, then Surya in the 10th and single one in numerology, Sun Rahu combination. It's like Leo to the power 4, Leo on steroids. It is like that.
Wow, great
Now,
combo.
among these four, if even one of them would be less, the power would be significantly less.
But he have all that.
Imagine he was, not Leo Lagna, he was, Cancer Lagna. Then his, rhetoric would be a bit toned down, because Moon is that, considerate, kind.
Right, not to say too loud, too strong words, be gentle in all that sense,
Yeah, yeah, Moon is like feminine, right?
of course.
Yeah, so that female nature, but now no, sun, the power of the sun, like the Lagna is blazing with the power of the sun, and then where is the sun? It is with Rahu in the 10. So now it is like Leo to the power 4. All the power of the sun is there. I'll do whatever I want. He actually feels he's the king of the whole world.
I totally agree. It feels like that whenever he speaks, he comes on the stage. In case of Trudeau, he is like mentioning on social media,
Like every day.
and that was like how you could do, being like going to be the president of United States, and like okay, fine, something is making you write that, so it's fine.
I think there's one very famous reel which he has. He told to this dictator of North Korea, Kim Jong Un, that he said, once I talked with him and he threatened me that I also have nuclear weapons. So
Yes.
and then Trump said, yes, you have a button and I also have a button, but the difference is mine works.
No, seriously, it is like that. It's a quite a funny way, but yes, that's how we can see how that dominant or strong chart he has in that terms. At this age, with so many allegations, still he came with all of the bang out. So
Yeah, because the trait of the sun is it is always shining.
yeah,
The sun, the thing is, when it is night, it does not mean the sun is dead.
yes,
The sun is there. It's gonna come out in another 4 5 hours.
yeah, of course, it gonna come definitely.
So
So
now you understand why he's the Leo Lagna. He's like that, not just because he's Leo. This is what I want.
yes, yes. No, I am getting it completely, and maybe the whomsoever going to listen, they understand that what's the significance in that way. The one question I have with all the highest career and all whatever the way you are shining, some people are at some good, very good positions, or maybe two sibling, one is shining, one is very average. When or how we could see that the downfall or the career, like somebody is shining and suddenly like he is or she is nowhere, what makes person like get that kind of downfall, or maybe suddenly no jobs in the time of like when there was inflation and no jobs were there, people were like dying because, so that kind of like I can connect in that way, that was downfall in your career, not everybody lost their job.
So there are two things. Like first, you said if two siblings have very different lives, so then it is like the date of birth of one sibling and the horoscope is significantly much better than compared to the other. So that is the reason. Now, if they are twins, then also they will have different lives. Their date of birth is same, the
Yes,
horoscope is same, but the palmistry is different.
yes,
So every time they keep asking astrologers, oh, what about twins? Astrology fails. No, astrology fails for twins, but astrology is one of the predictive tools in the Vedic scripture. So when you say Jyotish, it does not just include astrology; it will include numerology and palmistry by default. So in that context, when you use palmistry, it does not fail. But if you talk only of horoscope, yes, then they will astrologers will argue. No, no, divisional charts are different. But if they are born in 1 or 2 minutes, even the D9, D10, D60 may be same, maybe hypothetically. But even if they are born 10 minutes apart and things are different, but the palmistry will always be different. No two people will have the same fingerprint, never.
yes, never.
And all these things you have, your fingerprint, is it circular? Is
Mhm.
it deep? Is it straight? Every damn thing has a meaning in the hand. Everything.
Right.
So then, now this is number one. Then number two is downfall. The downfall means like the dasha, mahadasha, and antardasha both have to have some association with the eighth house or the 12th house or both.
Okay. And it should be a
I'll give a very dummy example again. Again, for the viewers, don't take it literally. Suppose somebody is running Saturn Mahadasha. Saturn is in the 12th house and Mercury is in the 8th house. So then Saturn is the first Antardasha. Then next Antardasha is Saturn Mercury. So in that Saturn Mercury Antardasha, there will be down.
Okay.
And downfall also it depends. If a Antardasha alone is indicating downfall, it will just be a defamation and temporary loss of job.
Okay.
But if the Mahadasha is indicating,
Okay.
then it is a destruction of everything that you have in life.
Okay.
And one last thing regarding this, sometimes you will see a person loses job or faces defamation after Antardasha problem. So after 1 or 2 years, the person is back. Mahadasha problem. For 10 years, the person is gone. But sometimes you will see, in very rare cases, whatever the person has earned, name, fame, goodwill, everything is finished at the end of life due to some reason or the other. Now, why that happens? That for that you will need palmistry. If you have a line going to your sun mountain, at the top there is a star or some bad sign in that line at the top, then it means whatever you have worked for 50, 60, 70, 80 years will all be finished at the end. Like for example, I'll give you another example. Suppose somebody's bad period is active as per astrology. So let's say around 35ish, 35 years, the person has a bad dasha. Now, in the bad dasha, you will lose your job or your home, car, or your marriage, or you will lose everything, or you will lose every dot of money you have. How will you know that? That you can't know by astrology. That's not possible. Then you have to use palmistry. Like in palmistry, this is this mount that you see. This mount,
This.
no, not this, not this. This in between.
Okay. This.
Exactly this place till the thumb from here. This is the lower Mars.
Okay.
So from here, if a line comes out and pierces your fate line, which is this line, and this is your
Sir,
intellect
please
line.
do the hand up. Your name is like do the little the name thing is cutting your hand.
Yeah, yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
So from this mount of lower Mars, from here, if there is a line which comes and pierces your lifeline, this is your lifeline, and it pierces your line of intellect, this one, and your line of emotions, it pierces all the three and goes out like this, it will devastate you completely at that age. You will be finished physically, which means all your money is gone, finished. You will be finished intellectually, which means you will lose the desire to do anything in life. The fire line is cut, which means motivation is gone, you don't feel life is worth living. And line of intellect, such pain you have received, you will need decades to recover from it. But now in astrology, like this happened to one of my friend, not friend, he's like senior. So at the age of 33 he got divorced.
Okay.
Now his chart is indicating divorce and some defamation. But then at the age of 33, around 33, 35, for him this happened. So what happened? At that age of 33, his net worth, total net worth was around 1 crore rupees.
Okay.
And his wife took away 95 lakhs.
Oh, wow.
And that point he took a vow of lifelong celibacy. I will never talk to a woman, look towards a woman, nothing. He was completely devastated by it, like gone, because it pierced all the four lines. Your lifeline, which means lifeline shows your physical assets, like home, property, and all this money. Then fire line, which is your fate line, that shows your desire to do something in life, motivation. That's not. Then line of intellect, you have had paralysis. Now you cannot think. Then line of heart, such suffering to your heart. How could she do like this? Imagine all the four are gone. From the lower Mars, this line is coming at the age of 33. So now this problem which is there in astrology, it is not just a divorce. Now if you don't have all this and your chart shows divorce, then you know, yeah, divorce happened, whatever I gave some alimony, this, that, done, finished. After 2 years, you are with another lady again, no problem. So that is how you will know the scale of destruction, or on the other side again, the scale of rise. Like from the lifeline, if a line goes out to the Saturn or Sun or Jupiter mount, at that age, it shows great success in life. Now, during that period, if in astrology your 10th house is active, 11th house is active, from a normal employee, you will become a millionaire suddenly.
Right. So, in if may I ask, like in that that person at that time, how he is now, how the things are unfolding now. If it was a 5 years back, what's the situation now? How's
Now,
that line is working? I mean, I'm just curious to know that in that.
now everything is fine, but he has no like female, no relationship, marriage, nothing. But professionally, he is doing brilliant. He has very good numerology is very good. The palmistry is great, and of course, astrology is great. And only once in his life he has this dreaded line which pierces all the four major lines. For most of the people, it will lines from the lower Mars will pierce one or two lines for most of the people. But if it pierces all the four, it is like it has not hit your bank balance or mind. It pierces your soul. It is so devastating. So then you have to, if you see that in their hand, you have to warn, my dear sir, my dear madam, it's tough period for you. Please, please prepare.
Right, right. That's
And
how I see.
if it is only in astrology, in chemistry, it is not there, then it's like, okay, yeah, 1 year is trouble, you will forget it, move on, no problem, don't worry, finish.
Right, right. So,
So
sir,
the AI must know all this. AI must know all this.
no, AI cannot match all this for now, at least. For now, at least.
Yes, yes. For now, that's important.
Yeah, so we cannot say about future because at least I have never thought that this thing will come in that way. I'm not from any technology field or background, so that I could imagine that computer or data will go that far that
Yeah,
if you are checking one reel, in some sense your whole system is flooded with the same kind of content. So
yeah.
who knew that before? So anything could happen. So, sir, before we go towards the end, I just want a little general idea for the people for this year, as this is the new year. We met after a year. So, so just any general guidance for the people for this year regarding career. I'm not going into the vast field, so just the career focus.
So this year, as per numerology, it is 9, 2 plus 2 plus 5. And if you see the major transits, it is happening primarily in the sign of Pisces, because
Yes.
Saturn will enter Pisces as per Vedic sidereal astrology. So what I believe will happen is people will become self-employed. People will want to show their individuality. People will want freedom. And it's very interesting. Freedom and individuality are, like hand in hand.
Yes.
When you say I don't have freedom, what does it mean? I have lost my individuality. That is
Yes.
what it means, right?
Yes.
I have regained my freedom. India got freedom,
Yes.
whatever. So India became one country, not a colony of the British. So the independence came up. So people will want more independence in their profession. Now I am not saying this will only necessarily happen voluntarily. It can happen that voluntarily people are becoming self-employed, or there can be more job terminations which can force people to be self-employed. So overall, it's a great year to display your individuality. If you have something unique, then don't shy off. Show it to others. Now, when I'm saying show it, I don't mean show off, but yeah, share it on social media. Have your own website, have your own personal brand. Be somebody who can inspire others, and on the side, always look for freedom. Like what I think people will do is, even if they are getting less money, but they will prefer freedom more.
Okay.
People may be ready to work for 50% of their salary, but provided they can get up and sleep and take vacation whenever they want.
Right. The more you want to say, the more the influencer kind of era, or people are working
The era of freelancers, I would say.
freelancers. Yeah, yeah. The
They
right
could
word.
they could be software engineer, doctor, whatever, free, where I can decide, do I want to work tomorrow or I want to take a vacation. Now
Yes.
I know that if I take a vacation, I will lose money.
Yes.
I will lose clients and I will have expenditure, but I'm okay with it because it's my choice.
Yes. 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 Exactly. Like whatever I want, I'm doing. Is that kind of the year?
I have nobody to blame.
Good in a way. Good in a way.
Good in a way. There is no in India, like 5% increment every year. There's no increment. It's all up to you. There's
It's
no politics. There's no politics and inflation. Nothing to be blamed except your own laziness.
yes, perfectly fine. So, sir, thank you so much. That was such an enlightenment session, or as I could say, a very relative, or like people can relate to every information for their this year, their career, and some things can make break the myths of just about few houses or few numbers. So, sir, hope to see you again, and thank you so much again for coming and just accepting the request.
Thank you so much, Nutanji. It's a great pleasure to talk to you, to be in your channel, and yeah, discuss all this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.